comfortable seat. Take a couple rounds of breath. Go on. Take a couple rounds of breath and just move your seat back and forth a little bit so where you find that nice connection to the mat, that stability that stems from your sit bones. And just begin to take those nice deep rounds of breath and take a moment here to see and experience what the body's offering. Looking at everything that's going on, the body can start to, have a response to the things that we're presented with in our day-to-day lives. So the practice is a great opportunity to work through the body, find those areas that might be holding some tension, stress, anxiety, just general frustrations with things, and to work through and open up and release. It doesn't have to be a super deep, engaged movement practice. Even sometimes just the opportunity to stay still and breathe can create that environment within. So as we find our breath deepening, we find that connection to the mat even greater, so the body becomes heavier and more relaxed. This is when we start to engage and get a little bit more present in the actions that we're creating. So we want to make sure that we feel that we're pushing into our seat and get that gentle lift in our upper body. Take the shoulders back and apart so our heart space is nice and open. Chin is roughly parallel to the floor. And we are just taking some nice deep rounds of breath. Experiencing the body, engaging our lower abdominal region. And as we've talked about before, when we engage that front, that interior part, the lower belly, we also want to feel that we're including the side body and even the back body. So a perfect way to look at that is if you have a belt around your waist and you gently take it a little bit tighter and you feel that action of tightening around the entire waist, drawing in towards the midline. And with all of this that we have put into place, these simple actions to find balance and stability from within our body, we take a moment to connect to an intention of this practice. I've been talking a lot in my classes lately about foundation and building that strength from the ground up. And our intention for this practice is that foundation. So we draw the hands into prayer position to the heart. We take a moment or two to breathe into that space. Feeling that breath just wash away the things that do not serve us well, and allowing this intention to become more prominent. We bow our heads. We inhale, lifting the chin, taking the hands back behind us, fingertips just on the outside of each hip, and roll the shoulders back. Lift up the heart by pushing down and away with your hands a little bit. Take that left arm simply up and over towards the right. Again, I won't mirror you all, so I'm moving opposite direction. So just stretch that left arm over towards the right. Take that left hip and root it in towards the floor. Allow that belly to move in and almost follow the trajectory of your fold to the right. Take that left hand, take it back to its original position behind the hip, and then we release the right arm up and over towards the left. And as we do, that right hip gets a little bit heavier. We take a few rounds of breath. We'll take the right hand back behind us, the left arm will come up, and now we're going to include a little bit more of the neck. So as the left hand stretches over towards the right, simply look down towards the floor. Stretch. Left hip gets heavy. Left arm comes back up, reaches to the floor. Right arm moves up and over. As you stretch, drop your gaze down to the floor. Right hip gets heavy. One more time each side. Right hand comes down, left arm comes out. Stretch. This time actively roll that right shoulder back. Take your gaze back down towards the floor. Stretch a little bit further with that left hand. Let that left hip get a little heavier. Good. Come back into neutral last time to the left. Right arm moves up and over and stretch. And then gaze down towards the floor, rolling that left shoulder back. Right hip gets heavy. And just take a couple breaths. And then come back into neutral, placing the hands on the knees, palms facing down. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift your heart. Exhale, fold and round your back. Inhale, move forward, lift the heart, shoulders are back. Exhale, tuck and round. So we've done this the last couple sessions just to allow the body to open up. So this movement is very similar to our cat-cow, but we're just simply in seat. So as we move back and forth, we explore what's going on in the back body. Range of motion, expression of this posture is entirely up to you, but noticing the body starts to move a little bit more freely as we increase the number of repetitions. And we just move and breathe. Again, going back to that thought of foundation, the breath early on develops that relationship to movement. And we connect to that and we hold that pattern throughout the practice. Let's do two more. And then on the last little inhale here, we stretch up, sit as tall as we can, lift the chin, inhale, chin to chest, exhale. And then sweep that left ear over towards the left shoulder, right side body, neck gets nice and open. Maybe that right shoulder dips down just a touch. Come back into neutral, right ear, right shoulder. Left shoulder moves down just a little bit. Continue to sit fully. Continue to engage your core. We'll do one more round. Take it back to neutral. Take it to the left. Right side gets long. This time right shoulder moves down, and maybe that right ear moves a little bit further towards the left. Just this very gradual opening of the body. Nothing too fancy. Just a nice, concentrated effort to open space in our body. Chin to chest, last time towards the right. Left side opens up, left shoulder moves down, left ear can move away. Awesome. And then slowly come back into neutral. And then from that position, take your legs straight out, and then windshield wiper your legs, and I'm going to turn profile here. Turn your hands, palms down, right behind your hips. And then roll the shoulders back. Sit up as tall as you can, so almost at the hips are at a 90-degree angle. Knees are not completely straight. And then flex your ankles and just feel like you want to push in the mat so hard with your hands that your seat is going to come off, but it doesn't. Legs are incredibly strong. Core is active. We're flexing the toes and pushing that heel away from the body as we sit fully and tall. Couple rounds of breath. This pose is called Dandasana, or staff pose. It's a full coverage pose, meaning that it goes from the soles of the feet to the palms of the hands all the way up to the crown of the head. And then take a full breath here. Exhale, just gently release. Stay active in the legs. We'll bring that left knee in, left hand to the pinky side of your left foot. Keep that right leg nice and strong. And then simply lift that left foot off the floor, roughly that the shin is parallel. Hold that left leg in place by pulling that left hand back and pushing the left foot forward so you elevate the chest a little bit more. Stay there and then let that left knee move back a little bit. Again, sitting as tall as you can, going into that left hip joint, shoulders are back, again, allowing ourselves to connect to that breath. So we want to make sure that we don't shallow breathe in any of these postures. That's sending that signal to the body that, I'm not too sure about this, and then it starts to tense up. So full body breath. Take that left foot, place it on the inside of our right upper thigh on the floor. Take your hands behind you again, sit up really tall. Take the left arm up and just stretch it forward, well shy of where you think you would be able to go a little bit later in practice. Place that left hand on the outside of the right shin and just twist over towards the right a little bit. Keep this right shoulder rolling back, and you can lean your heart in just a little bit. We won't go too far. That left rib cage starts to get a little bit heavier, so we feel a little bit more space in that mid-back range. And we can enhance this posture and turn it into a little bit more of a hip function. So we pull that right thigh back into the body and allow the heart to move a little bit further forward. Just take a couple more rounds of breath here. Good. And then from that position, we're going to slowly release. Left hand's going to come behind us again. Right arm's going to come up and we're going to twist over towards the left. Right hand, left knee, shoulders are both down and back, and then simply twist away from that right thigh. As you twist, we want to focus on moving the side body and not our neck or our gaze. So we don't really take that neck into a position that's uncomfortable. We just work the side body. Take the arms to the side of the right. Take a nice little counter twist. Sit up and stretch. Good. Come back into neutral. Take your left leg out. Engage. Take your hands back alongside your body. Shoulders are back. Legs are very active. Core is strong. Sit up as tall as you can. Flex the ankles. Push the heels away. Take about 5 breaths here. Back into our Dandasana pose. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release, keeping the hips to the feet engaged. Right foot comes in this time. Right hand, right foot, sit up tall. Let that right shin come off the ground. And push the foot forward, pull the hand back, and again, elevate that upper chest. And then from this position, we can draw that right knee back a little bit. Take those nice deep rounds of breath. Nice full breathing. I love these type of postures and these type of practices where there should never be an expectation on your practice. You should just go into it and receive the benefits wherever your body is that day. But these types of practices allows us to go in deeper, but with not quite that full force of effort that we would put into a full-fledged vinyasa class. Nice restorative, deep postures. And then release that right sole to the inner left thigh. Take the hands behind you, shoulders back. Right arm now comes back up again and take it to the outside of the left. Stretch the heart forward just a touch. Pull the belly back, pull the left thigh back, and then allow the right ribs to go a little heavier. And just take some nice deep rounds of breath. Good. Release, right hand behind you, sit up tall, left arm comes up, and now we twist over towards the right. Drawing the shoulders both down, back, and apart. Side bodies move in opposite directions to enhance that twist in a more neutral position with your gaze. couple rounds of breath. Awesome. Counter twist to the left. Sit up. Good. Come back into neutral. One more little sequence on our seat. Take the soles of the feet together. Just gently encourage the ankles in a little bit. And we're going to take our hands to our ankles this time. And we're going to pull back and take the heart space forward. Move the shoulders back and apart. And then from there, just take a little bounce with your knees. Nothing fancy. Just allow the knees to kind of bounce up and down a little bit. Going deeper into the hip socket, going deeper into those adductors. But we continue to sit up as tall as we can. Sit bones are rooted. And you can just kind of do like a wave action. Good, couple more breaths. Good. And then from that position, we release the ankles, hands back behind us, shoulders back and apart, sit up tall, and then start to move your torso forward over the soles of the feet, taking the shoulders back, pulling the belly in, and taking the heart forward. Your gaze is just in front of your feet, so the momentum of your body is moving forward, away from the seat position. And just enjoy the stretch. Good, about 4 or 5 more breaths. Just let those inner thighs, we'll tap into those in a little bit, but just a little bit more. But for right now, just allow that gravity to take hold here, gently making the knees go down and out. Inner thighs are stretched, hips are working, core is active, breath is deep. And just enjoy the stretch. And then release. Left hand comes up, final little twist here. Left hand to the right knee. And then make sure that right hand is heavy so we continue to stay elevated and then twist over towards the right. Shoulders are back and down. Twist. And as you breathe, we'll feel that length in our body, just that stretch, and the body gets taller and taller. And then left hand behind you, right arm comes up and switches over towards the left. Twist over that direction, shoulders are back and apart, sit up tall and stretch. Breathe. Good. Come back into neutral, hand behind you. Inhale here, last stretch in this position. Stretch the heart forward. Now if we're comfortable here and can maintain our foundation, which is those sit bones in the floor, perhaps the hands come forward. And we just stretch. Maybe the hands creep a little bit further forward. Again, our momentum is beyond our toes, so the length of our front body is constantly improving. It's following your gaze, moving forward and forward. And we're breathing for 5, for 4, 3, 2, strong core, release. Take the hands to the outside of the knees, draw the knees up, cross, and let's come to an all fours position. So as we move to all fours, we'll take the shoulders over the wrists. I know. Knees underneath our hips. And we're going to start a cat-cow position. So inhale forward, exhale, tuck, and round your back. Let's do a couple of these in a row. Going back to the foundation of this posture, which really is our hands. So check in with your hands to see that they're spread as wide as you can get. The knees are squeezing inward. The forearms are squeezing inward. Just a couple more breaths. Go on, sit down. Sit down. Good girl. Go on, down. Yeah, it's a good girl. Now, let's do a little more rocking chair. So the next exhale, take your hips more towards your heels. Maybe the toes are tucked so the stretch of the soles of the feet are active. And then move back forward. Let's do about 3 more of those. Exhale back. Move forward. Exhale back. Let's do one more. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Move into this all fours position, and from that, you're going to drop to your forearms, interlacing your hands. Now from this position, we can stay here and work our upper back, our shoulders, or perhaps we tuck the toes and we lift our knees. And from this position, let's start in a wider stance, but take the forearms down and take your upper back in. And then walk your feet forward a little bit. Take your seat and try to pull it away from your heels, and take the upper back in again. And we'll hold this pose, strong core, for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down, back to straight arms. Left leg moves back, shift to your right, take your left hand to your hip. Left shoulder moves back, left foot gets heavy, and then from there we'll just take a couple moments of breathing here. Work that belly in and try to move it towards the heart as you feel a little bit of a back bend, and then from there take your left arm up, place it behind your head. And then from that position, push the back of the head gently, resist with your hand, but allow yourself to take the gaze forward. And then take that left elbow and move it towards the right, just to open up across that chest. Left arm darts over your head. Stretch it. And then left hand comes down, left knee comes back, right leg goes back, shift. Left side, left hand to your hip, right hand to your hip. And then from this position, draw that shoulder back, open the heart, take that right arm up, place it behind your skull. Resist, take the right elbow and shoulder back, and then take your gaze forward. Stretch. Look down, release down, and then from that position, let's move back into a downward dog. So tuck your toes and stretch it back. And then from here, let's take the feet a little bit wider than our hips. Bend the knees a little bit, and we're going to actually do a cat-cow movement from our down dog position. So inhale, look towards the top of the mat, and then exhale, look back at your thighs. All the actions remain the same. We inhale, tilt the pelvis forward, look forward. We exhale, tuck the tailbone, look back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Couple more. Release. 2 more. One more. Inhale to neutral, release your knees back down again. Exhale, inhale forward, left leg moves back again. This time that left foot stays on the floor, heel moves back, left foot lifts off the floor, step the left foot outside the left hip, right hand gets heavy. That left arm is going to come back to our hip, and we're going to roll that left shoulder open again, left ribs move to the right. So we remember that the left shoulder and the left ribs move as a team. Belly is strong, right arm, right shoulder. Left arm comes up, back to the position behind the skull. Move the left elbow and left shoulder back, and then look forward just ever so slightly. A little bit deeper, back bend. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Keep that right hand nice and committed to the floor. Good. And then from that position, look down. Left hand goes down, but the left leg stays where it is. And then from that position, walk your hands back. Take your hands to your hips. Now from here, you can keep the left foot there, or roll it up, point the toes towards the ceiling, square the hips. Take that left arm to the left thigh, take the right arm up and over and lean towards that left foot. Pull the belly in. Again, try to find that trajectory to your left. Breathe. And then swing the right arm up alongside your body. Just let it rest on the right side body and take that left arm Try to stay square in your hips and just reach that left hand over towards the right. Just try to stretch it away from that left foot. Good. Take it back to the left shin, maybe a little bit further. Now that right arm moves up and over a little bit further this second round. Pull the right hip away from the left foot and stretch. Going back into those adductors. We worked them earlier so they're open, but we stretch a little bit further. Keep the hips square as you can. Take the right arm back up and then take the right arm to the floor. Left arm comes up, left foot goes back to the floor. So now we're in a twist. Stretch. Left arm can go over. Breathe. Stay focused on your breath. So the left arm is up and over your head. The right hand is underneath your shoulder and stretch. Left foot is wide. Left foot is heavy. Left arm comes up on an inhale. Exhale, left hand slides behind the right. Look over towards the right. Inhale, open up. 5 more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. One more. Open up. Left hand to the floor. Left knee comes back underneath your hip. Tuck the toes. Inhale. We stretch it all out. Downward dog. Good. Breathe. Keep that nice softness in your body. Keep the softness in the knees. Keep the softness in the touch of the mat to the hands. Stretch. Inhale, knees down. Inhale forward, right leg moves back, super strong. Push the right heel away from you, right foot comes up, open to the right, and then that right foot moves outside the hip, and we walk our hands back and elevate for our second round. Again, right foot can be flat or right toes can point towards the ceiling, or in my case, the sky. Square the shoulders. Okay, and then from there, take the right hand to the right thigh and let that left arm come up and over. Stretch. Feel your side body long on the left. And breathe. Left arm comes back up alongside the body. We pretty much stay square. Just take that right arm a little further away from the right foot. We're just prepping for the next round where we go a little bit deeper towards the right. Right hand back down, maybe a little bit further. Left arm comes back up and over and stretch just a touch further if we're comfortable here. Left arm comes back to the floor. Right foot comes down, right arm comes up towards the ceiling. Right arm goes over and stretch. Right arm comes up on an inhale, exhale, right hand behind the left, and we're going to look over towards the left, stretching inner thigh, stretching mid-back, stretching right side. Open up. 5 more, exhale. Three more. Two more. Last one. Take it up. Release it down. Right knee comes back underneath your hip. Square your shoulders, square your ribs, tuck the toes, take it back, downward dog. Now, from downward dog, we'll pedal the feet. We'll shift the hips. We'll take our upper back in and we'll move our thighs back and we'll move the seat back. We'll lift the heels high, moving into a plank position. Knees can come down for support, but we're going to activate the upper back by pushing into the hands so we feel a slight rounding of our upper back. Tuck the tailbone. 5, 4, 3, 2, downward dog for 1. Stretch back. One more. Heels high, stretch forward. Plank position, knees down if needs support. Upper back is slightly rounded. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down. Inhale, back into a very brief, engaged child's pose as your hips fall towards your heels. And rest on your forearms. Your arms can go out, whatever's most comfortable. Release the arms back out, back to all fours, toes tucked, downward dog again. Now from our down dog, we're going to walk the feet forward about halfway. Parallel the feet, walk your hands back towards your toes. Sway the hips from left to right. Finding some length. Hips are moving up. Crown of the head is moving down, finding length. And then come back into neutral with a half lift. We're going to tilt that pelvis forward so we're sticking our seat back, and we're going to walk our hands to the left, just outside the left toes. Pull your right hip back, bend the left knee a little bit, and work on straightening the right leg. Not entirely straight, but just enough to get that hamstring and back of the knee and into the calf a little bit more active. Girl. Hey, girl. Come back into neutral, half lift, inhale, exhale, fold. Half lift again on an inhale, walk it to the right. Right knee bends, left leg straight, left hip pulls back. Come back into neutral, inhale, half lift, exhale, fold. This time, we take it all the way to the top. Slowly, tuck the tailbone as you lift. Stretch the arms up and over your head. And as we release, we find our Tadasana or standing posture. Take a couple breaths here. Just really enjoy how the body's feeling right now after some pretty intense movement. Going into the joints, getting the energy flowing, and just finding those nice deep rounds of breath. Good. Now we're going to do some moves from our standing posture, and we can stay in the center of the mat if you'd like. We'll do about 2 or 3 half sun salutations just to get us started from this position. So inhale, arms up. Let's include a little bit of a back bend here. So interlace or just palms together, tuck your tailbone a little bit, and draw an imaginary line on the ceiling as you stretch back. Just feel the length in your front body, and allow the legs to get very active right now. So your hips are moving in towards the soles of the feet. And then inhale here, very controlled exhale, swan dive down, shins or the floor. Half lift. Exhale, fold. Standing tall. Tuck the tailbone, lengthen with the heart as you come up to standing. Let's go back to a back bend. Stretch up, palms together, stretch back, tuck the tailbone and lengthen. Inhale, again, controlled swan dive all the way down towards the shin or the floor. Half, fold. We're going to do one more after this. Standing, lengthening, stretching, palms together, reach back, back bend, and our controlled release to the floor. Standing. And releasing. Nicely done. Now from this position we're going to tap into a little bit of low lunges, and we're going to do a series. So we'll do 3 low lunges on one side at a time. So we'll stay down there. We're going to go deep into our hip flexors. We're going to start on the left side. So walk a little bit closer towards the top of the mat so we have some room. Come into Tadasana, shoulders are back, belly engaged, legs are strong. Okay? From this inhale, we take the arms up. Exhale, fold. Half lift, inhale. Now step your left leg back. Drop your left knee down. So we want that right knee directly over our ankle. Hands are going to stay on either side of that right foot. Now from this position, take your left knee back about an inch. Look forward and just kind of dip your hips down a little bit. Feel that stretch and sensation on that left side. Pull the shoulders back. Take the crown of the head and move the heart forward. And then from that position, we've started that process of opening that left side a little bit more, and we're going to take advantage of that space. The left toes tuck, and then you're going to inchworm that left knee back a little bit further. Maybe half an inch, maybe an inch, maybe a quarter of an inch, whatever feels most comfortable to you. Top of the foot back to the floor, drop the hips a little bit more. Right knee stays over the right ankle as our hips move down. If you feel any sensation in the lower back, tuck the tailbone a little bit and engage your glutes. Look forward and stretch for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last round, tuck the toes under. Move that left foot knee back even further with that right knee exactly in the position we started in. Inhale and then drop the hips down. Exhale, stretch. This time, root that left hand down to the floor and take the right arm up into a twist. Maybe the right arm goes over. Now activate that left side a little bit more by trying to drag that left foot forward and drag the right foot back. Inhale, right hand down. Now the left knee is going to lift and we're going to pause in a runner's lunge for a moment. Hands rest. Strong on the left. We'll inhale here and we'll just simply draw that left foot back to the top of the mat in a half lift. We'll exhale, fold. Standing all the way up, lengthening as we go. Now, as we stand in Tadasana, you may feel a little lopsided because that left side is considerably longer now than the right, but of course we're going to balance that right now. So we move to the right side. Inhale, stretch the arms up, reach, fold, exhale. Half lift, right leg moves back, right knee comes down. Again, left knee, 90 degrees, hands on either side. Let the pelvic floor drop, our shoulders move up, heart and crown of the head move forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right toes tuck. We draw that right knee back just a little bit more. Notice the left knee doesn't move. There's a drop in the hips. Lift in the heart. Stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right toes tuck, right knee moves back. Last time, final round, stretch, settle in, and then the right hand comes to the floor and the left arm comes up into a twist. Left arm can come over. The hips are still moving down and forward. Left foot moves back, right foot moves forward. Isometrically, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left hand moves down. Right knee lifts. Again, pause in runner's lunge for a breath. And then step that right foot forward. Half breath or half lift with the breath. Exhale, fold. Standing. And releasing. Good. Finding ourselves back in Tadasana. Now, we're going to work ourselves to the mat. We're going to come into a variation of Malasana. Okay? So bring the feet together. And I'll face forward so you can see the actions. Squeeze in, a little tuck of the tailbone. We're going to start from a forward fold position. Arms up. Take your fold. Now half lift. Walk forward, lift the heels, and then slowly open the knees as you take a released portion in your hips. Now if this is uncomfortable, come straight to a seat and come to the soles of the feet together. Okay, like we did first on Baddha Konasana. From this position, inhale here, and then exhale, walk the hands forward a little bit, and let your hips fall behind you as you round your back. So this is pretty much the deepest spot we've taken our hips this morning during this practice, as you stretch the back and lengthen and reach, and just feel that really good sensation of balance and stability. Couple rounds of breath. And then from that position, walk your hands back and then bring the knees together and lean forward and place them on the floor. So now from that position, we're going to elevate into a kneeling posture. Shoulders are back. Now from this, I'll turn back to profile. Notice my toes are tucked under. Legs stay together, a little tuck of the tailbone. Inhale, open your arms out. Exhale, left arm over the right, and you're going to round back, sit towards your heels. As you open up, inhale, right arm over the left, second round. Let's do about 10 of these in a row. Cross. Now we don't have to go back to the heels. We can stay in a neutral position if we'd like. Crossing each time. So getting the thighs, getting the hips, hamstrings. Good. Breathing and moving. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Open up, hands to the hips, shoulders back, heart is open. Now from this, keep the toes tucked under, take your right arm up and over, and then from this position, draw the shoulder down. You can stay here and just kind of stretch that right arm back. If you have the length, maybe let your eyes follow and take the front part of your pelvis and push it towards the top of the mat. Maybe your gaze goes back towards your right hand. Stretch. Good. Inhale here. Slowly release right hand to the hip. Left arm moves up and starts the trajectory behind us as our tailbone tucks and we stretch. Reach. Feel that length in your front body. Awesome. Inhale here. Release. Take the tops of the feet to the floor. Boom, boom. Sit back on your heels if that's comfortable. We are making our way to a seated posture, but for right now, let's just take a moment or two. Feel the tops of the feet stretch. This is a good stretch. If you're comfortable in the knees, and a little trick here, when we sit back on our heels, sometimes there can be some pinching. So if you lift up a little bit and take your opposite hand and release the flesh from underneath that knee, sometimes that helps with that little sense of pinching. Take a breath, chin to chest, exhale. Perhaps that stretch at this point has room to go deeper into the back body, maybe all the way down into the lower back. I feel this stretch all the way down my center spine, all the way towards my lower back. Left ear, left shoulder. We'll kick in those actions we did early on. So right shoulder moves down, right ear moves away. Get a little bit deeper sensation of stretch. And then come back into neutral. Right ear, right shoulder, left shoulder down, left ear moves away. Nicely done. Come back into neutral, lift the chin, inhale, and then just roll to one side. And then we're going to come back into that Dandasana position, which we did right off the bat. So see how different the body is now? We're almost an hour into it. Take your hands behind your hips just a little bit, shoulders back, legs are strong, sit up as tall as you can. Flex your ankles and then inhale here and exhale for 5. Continue to breathe for 4, for 3, good, for 2, for 1. Everything remains constant except we're going to stretch our arms up towards the sky and then reach them forward towards our feet. Now as we reach forward, we want to pull back on our hips, taking that heart forward. It's up to you entirely how far you go, but keep the integrity of the posture. So take your hands to the point down the shin that you feel length in your spine, okay? We don't want to be like this, rounding and collapsing. Too much pressure on the spinal column. We want to find the heart moving forward. You can grab your feet if you have access. Again, pull your thighs back, stretch the heart forward. It's not about how far you go, it's about the quality of where you find your resting spot. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Strong core release. Round 2 of what we started off with. Left knee bends, left hand, left foot, right foot comes off the floor. Start with a little bit of resistance. Left foot forward, right hand, left hand back, so we lift the chest. Then allow that left knee to pull back. We have more room, so we can stretch a little bit further, sitting up taller. Good. Inhale here. Left foot comes back to the inner upper right thigh. Join the two together, hands behind you. Sit up as tall as you can get. Left arm comes up. We're still going to the outside of the right shin, but maybe we take it a little bit further. Perhaps we get all the way down towards the right foot if we have the room. Integrity of the posture, quality of the posture is the most important thing right now. As you pull your thigh back, you find some length. We breathe for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Strong core as you release. Remember to protect that lower back. Take that right hand automatically to your left knee as you twist over towards the left. Shoulders are back. Side bodies move in opposite directions. So right side to the left side to the right. Find some length. Don't worry about your gaze and twist. Good. Counter twist to the right. Stretch. Sit up tall. Good. Come back into neutral. Left leg moves out. Windshield wiper. Strong legs. Right foot comes in. Last little bit here. Lift that right foot. Resist. And then let that right knee move back. Sitting up as tall as you can. Couple breaths. Remember that left leg, even though we're focused right now on the right, we're still active and committed to that left side. Inhale here. Right foot to the inner left. Hands behind you. Right arm comes up. We stretch forward, taking it to the outside. Stretch. Again, you find your space. Left thigh moves back. Stretch the heart forward. You determine where you are. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, scoop and lift right over towards the right side. Shoulders back and apart. Inhale here and a nice deep twist. Exhale. Feel that release in the body. Nice strong breath. Counter twist to the left. And then come back into neutral. Take your right leg out. Windshield wiper your leg. Cross your feet and just come to a comfortable cross leg position. We're going to do a little bit of breathing work before we transition to our back. So take a moment in this seated posture to breathe fully. Find your seat moving into the floor. Everything that we have worked on to this point has allowed us to achieve that full sense of calm and peace in this position at the end of practice. Now as you breathe here fully into the body space, allowing whatever is left of tension and stress to just slowly continue to move forward and into the mat and just wash away. We take these moments here to continue that beautiful exploration of the body, to to see what is going on inside, to feel the work that we've done to this point, and have gratitude for the opportunity to practice. Yoga means something different to each and every person. Whether it's strictly exercise, strictly a form of opportunity to meditate and move, to reflect, to forget, what have you, it serves a purpose for whatever your needs are. Now, from this moment, as we breathe in the seated posture, we have a couple more minutes. So, if you'd like to stay in this seated posture in more of a meditative state, absolutely. If you'd like to move to your reclined position on your back for a couple minutes, absolutely. Whatever feeling feels best for you, we'll make that move for the next couple minutes. But we continue to breathe, relax, and enjoy. Begin to deepen your breath, allowing the body, whatever position you've found yourself at the end of practice, just take a moment or two to breathe back into this present moment, capturing the sensations that you feel, knowing and understanding that those feelings and sensations can be with you at any point. We slowly start to move the fingers and the toes, stretching. Perhaps the arms go up and over your head. And we find ourselves, if we're on our backs, to a side body, and then transitioning to a seated posture as we all meet. And we take a few rounds of breath, recalling the intention of your practice. We place the hands into prayer position to the heart. And again, allowing this intention to be the foundation of your practice. Allow it to stay with you as long as it serves the purpose you need it to serve. We bow our heads. The light within me honors and respects the beautiful light within each of you. Thank you so much for joining. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.